guys, welcome to the American Crime After Show here on theStream.tv. I'm your host, Drexel Heard, here along with Meghan and Mercedeh. Jack is missing today, but we do have a little video from him to all of you. Take it away.
Hey Meghan, Drexel, Mercedeh and the rest of the American crime fans, welcome to Dubai. Just give you a quick peek here from my balcony. I was going to take you down to the beach, but I actually fell over this morning and I have a big cut in my leg. Well done, Jack. Anyways, I'm so upset that I couldn't be there with you guys today. I'll be back in just over a week, but it's the season finale. I can't believe I'm missing the season finale. Nobody ruined it for me because I don't get any of the shows here until the next day. So I'll be all over Twitter with you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.
What? He is not upset that he is not here with us.
Well,
Come on, Jack.
Well, thanks for that,
We're
Jack.
jealous.
We have loved having him here all season with us here. Season finale definitely happened today, so definitely use the hashtag AmericanCrimeAS to join our conversation. If you're in the chat room, welcome. Let's get started. What did you guys think about that finale?
Just so good.
So good. I mean,
so good.
On social media, everyone is blowing up right now just saying, I mean, I feel like this show kind of got a little bit of hate all season. Now everyone's like, if you're not watching American Crime, you are missing out. Best finale ever. And I have to agree with them because it was so good.
It was so good. I was slightly upset about something that we didn't find out. Can I say? Can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm upset that we didn't find out who really killed Matt. This whole season is like, that is what we've been watching for. So that's the only thing that I'm upset about. But other than that, I loved it.
I thought the season finale was really great. There are some, I mean, we talked a lot about the Twitter sphere, and everybody's kind of conversations about the show. I think people really liked. I think the reviews are all great. The ratings didn't reflect the reviews, but people were slowly catching up to it because I think there was a lot happening in the world, so people didn't really want to take it all in at the time that the show was starting. So people are finally catching up after kind of the news has kind of slowed down. But I thought tonight's season finale was great. We're going to talk about the big stuff first, and then we're going to slow it down and talk about a lot of other stuff. Okay. So first, we're going to talk about Russ shooting Carter, because I think we just start the whole show off like that. If you haven't watched it yet, sorry, I just kind of threw that out of the water.
That's okay. Hopefully they've seen the show if they're watching the after show.
Russ shoots Carter, but one of the things I wanted to talk about, I wanted to mention, is my dad texted me right before the show started, and he said that he felt that Russ was proving to his family that he could kind of protect his family. Did you guys feel like that?
I felt like he was completely starting over. I felt like that's what he wanted to do. He was like, okay, you know what? This is a bad situation I have in my family, but I'm going to be there for them now. Like I'm not going to allow Matt's death to say that it's too late for me to finally be there for my wife and for Mark. But you don't realize how quickly someone is going to snap. You don't realize how they're trying to hold it together and when they're really not together. Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think that really was like the right way to prove to your family that you can stand up and be there for your family, because then again, at the end of the day, Russ never really knew that Carter did it, or did he? Because now it's like you just went and killed this man who we don't even know if he's the murderer.
The only reason why he went after Carter, I don't really think it had anything essentially to do with the death of his son. It had to do with him snapping. People snap and they do things for God knows whatever reason. I mean, we've witnessed it in present day so many times. Mass shootings and everything. He snapped because Barb basically was like, Russ, I don't love you. This isn't going to happen.
Right, and that's funny you say that, because I actually wrote down, do you think that Russ was more upset about Matt's death, or do you think he was more upset about Barb's rejection?
It seems like Barb's rejection.
Because there was a lot in this episode where he was really trying to get Barb and him back together, and I felt like he tried a lot this season to piece his family back together, and it was less about Matt's death, and I feel like Russ the whole time wanted to be that dad that he couldn't be before. But then he was also trying to piece his family together even through tragedy, and then he couldn't do that. So he kind of gave up and did
what Drexel, you just said it perfectly. You know, he spent this entire season trying to put his family together, but in that first scene when Russ walks in, she's like, Barb says, oh, I'm going to Sima Valley, the other two are going to Germany, and Barb basically said, you know, listen, everyone's going their separate ways. So everything he had worked so hard to do was just falling apart in front of him.
Yeah.
So Russ ends up killing himself. How did you guys, what kind of reaction did you guys have to that?
I mean, I feel like if he would go to that extent to kill Carter, he definitely would kill himself. That was kind of like the only thing to do. Otherwise, you're going to be in jail.
If Jack was
forever.
sitting here right
You're
now,
like,
he
"That
would
might as well."
definitely
Yeah, might as well
say
kill
that
yourself.
he would be devastated about Russ right now because he was
Yeah.
rooting for Russ
Yeah.
the whole season. So I'm sure he will have something to say about that tomorrow. So watch your
I just
Twitter
can't believe-
I don't
feed.
know if it was really about the rejection. I kind of more so feel like maybe he was trying to prove like just his love. Like, I really love you, and I know that you felt that Carter was guilty. So look what I did for you.
Right.
type of
Okay,
thing.
okay.
That's how.
One of the things, and I want to bring up what you talked about at the top of the show, which was what about Matt? For me, it's a couple of things. I think that Aubry really did it, even though we don't know. I think that Aubry really did it. However, and I think you said it, Megan, a lot of crimes that we see in the United States go unsolved. And innocent people do go to jail, and people do confess for crimes that they didn't do.
Yeah.
And I think this was a testament to the justice system that we currently have, just to kind of show people
Yes.
what people really go through
Drexel.
sometimes.
Yeah, you literally hit the nail on the head, and that's what I was gonna say. You know, when the justice system, like, I don't think this show was ever intended to tell us what happened with
Right.
Matt. I really don't think that starting the season, they ever wrote that into the script. It's all about, because of that crime, what unfolded
happened.
and,
Right.
and people's reactions and the way people handled situations that
and the people
created
got
more
dragged
chaos
into
and more
it, and
crime.
how many people are involved in one crime?
Exactly.
Right.
And
Exactly.
families, and wow, that's
Yeah, we
crazy.
always forget how people are affected outside of we always target, the media always targets one person on the news, whether or not it's a kid getting killed, whether or not it's we've got these families in this Amtrak crash that happened in the last couple of days, but we forget about the other families and what they're dealing with, and people are talking about the conductor, but they're not really talking about the family. They're not talking about everybody, and this show kind of really focused on everybody. Aubry ends up killing herself as well, so we're just going to go down the deaths right now.
Yeah.
Aubry ends up killing herself as well.
Yeah.
I thought one of the really cool scenes was when we thought that Aubry was walking down the hallway, because we were all like, well, how did she find him that fast?
And we were
Yeah.
like, who unlocked the
Clearly
door?
this
Right,
was
how did she get out?
Right. Who let her out of that
Who
door?
let
Right,
that
just walking
crazy
around the thing.
biatch out?
And I know Mercedeh at
telling
that
the
moment had
babies.
said- right. Who let this
What?
crazy person
The
pass you
babies
the NICU
don't
just
even know
walking
you're
down the thing?
there.
I thought it was a really powerful scene for her, like, just in that particular scene,
Yeah.
even after the fact that we saw that, like, of her actually seeing him and seeing that reaction. Even in her mental state, she was still devastated. There was still there was a lot going on in her head.
She just loved Carter.
She did.
I mean, that's
She
how
loved
she
him.
went out. She went out
the way that she wanted to.
thinking.
It was
about
literally a
him.
Romeo and Juliet.
It was Romeo
It
and
was
Juliet.
Yeah.
like modern day Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. Carter obviously died. We had thought that he was came back to life.
Alive, but that was because that was in her
head.
fantasy.
Right.
In her head.
But he could be. He could still be. I guess maybe not.
No, I think he's dead.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
he's
okay.
dead. He's definitely dead. Didn't see the
He only had
didn't
one
see
eye,
Tom or Eve. We saw them briefly with Gwen in the car arrive when Russ kind of called them. So we definitely missed those guys, Penelope and Earl, all those guys in this episode, at least, especially their acting. Let's move on to the people who wanted their lives to start over. It really went dead people and then people who wanted to
Are
move forward.
starting fresh.
And
Yeah.
really it came down to
Hernandezes.
Hector, Alonzo, and Tony and their
Alonzo, yeah.
family. They're really
But
the only characters that
Also, I
wanted...
do want to add a person to that. Barb too, because I really think that scene when she dropped everything on the floor and then the other two
Oh, yeah,
rushed
that
over and
was
they were
nice.
like, this is the point
Right.
in your life where you make a decision.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
either fall off the cliff right
Right.
now or realize that we are going to be creating
Right.
a family, and so I think
Right.
that Barb's at a decision.
Right,
now.
absolutely. I think that
Yeah,
Barb,
I liked that Mark's girlfriend did that.
She really kind of reeled people in. She was really kind of the
She's
glue
great.
keeping that
Yeah.
whole family together.
Yeah.
'Cause Mark wouldn't have did it.
Yeah, so Hector, Alonzo, Tony, they all kind of wanted their lives to kind of move forward. I mean, you saw Hector at the beginning. He was kind of in court, and the Mexican court, and they found that the witness didn't show up, so they kind of tossed his trial out, which I thought was really cool for Hector, because we kind of didn't really he was kind of sleazy the whole season. So he
Yeah.
kind of had this weird, and he was like, sleazeball gets the last laugh, which I thought
Right.
was really crazy.
I
What'd you guys
feel
think about
like we got to know Hector, but we didn't get to know Hector. I mean, I feel like we still don't really know.
I think we got to know Hector through his girlfriend and his daughter. I think we got to see the real Hector when he kept, you know, every time that he would talk about his daughter, every time that he would look at a picture, every time he would talk about his girlfriend, that's when we saw the real Hector. He really didn't want to be in this world.
Right.
I think felt like he kind of had to be.
It was like, though, his
For
just
survival.
how he looked so scary. It was like hard to believe. Like, well, is he really this genuine, happy family guy, or is he this criminal?
But I loved the ending. I thought that American Crime couldn't have ended in a more perfect way. Like, I got chills. You know, he's in the car with his girlfriend. You can just see the hope. And you know that, I'm going to get deep for a second. That's what America is about. It's about a new beginning. It's about hope. It's about people living their dreams. And, you know, that's what he's, even though he's still in Mexico, but that's what he's embarking on. And I thought it was so powerful when he said, "I need a new shirt." And she's like, "Why? You're just gonna be on the phone." He's like, "But I feel like I need a new shirt." I was like, "That's so cute."
And the last, of course, our characters, Tony and Alonzo. I'm glad they kind of mended their whole family back together with Jenny, and you know, Jenny wanting to go with Carlos and his family, who own the restaurant. Hector, Alonzo really working hard this season. It was weird because Russ was trying to piece his family back together. Alonzo was trying to piece his family back together, and obviously we saw the one who really worked hard, who really didn't take it, like didn't make himself the victim, like really tried to put himself out there. Like Russ made himself the victim from the beginning. Alonzo didn't do that with his family. And I think you saw how that affected his daughter and how that affected Tony by saying, "I want to help you."
Yeah.
Where Russ was like blaming people, and that's really what happened at that point. What grade would you guys give the whole season?
Oh, I mean, I think that this is just such a work of art that hasn't been brought into network television before. Honestly, John Ridley, I give you an A+, my friends.
You know, for me, it definitely was something different, and because it was so outside of the box, and I feel like there hasn't been a show like this, now coming to the end of the season, I can give it a B+.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I give it a B+.
A B+ is good. A+ is good. I think
It took me a while to be like, okay. But that's because it was different, and I commend him for doing something different. And like you guys said in the beginning, I don't think people really caught on to it until like past mid-season.
And we talked about it at the beginning of the season, and I'll give my grade in a second, where people don't like to hear real stuff. People do not like to hear what's actually happening. We see it in politics, and that's what people want to ignore the problem, and I think that's always an unfortunate. I love the show, so I give it an A+ because it did bring the politics in, which I love. It did bring the history, and it did bring kind of show us real people, which I thought.
Well, I think
great.
People, when they want to hear these situations, they go to the news, and then they escape to network television to escape. But then it was like the two mushed into one. People were like, what is this?
Oh
Right.
Are you guys gonna miss any of the characters? Are you guys?
Well,
gonna
they
miss
said
any
that
of the
they're going to
characters?
bring the characters
Well,
back,
no,
but they're going to
I meant
play
characters
new
from
characters.
this season. It is an anthology, which
Yes.
we'll just go ahead and say that. So next season's going to be completely different. All same cast. I mean, almost about the same cast.
Well,
Everybody in the same
except
cast.
for people that died.
Well, no,
Maybe
Same
not.
cast, different characters.
Yeah.
They'll be playing different people.
Oh, are you serious?
Like American Horror Story. So it'll be very different next season.
Okay, because I was like really upset.
All
for a
new
minute.
crime, same cast. Different
story.
city, different story. Everything's
Right.
different. But I'm saying, are you guys going to miss any of these characters from this particular season?
I mean, I'm gonna miss them all in their own unique ways. Like, I think my heart always went out to Alonzo, and I'm really excited that his story ended on a good note for him and his family, because you saw them struggling throughout the entire season. So Alonzo and his family, I'm gonna miss Papa Bear.
I like Russ. I'm kind of with Jack with you on that, Jack. I liked Russ a lot, and it was something about Carter. Like, he gave me a good spirit, and like I just wanted him to win. Yeah. And like how he went out was just like,
I know.
That scene was just graphic.
I think I'm gonna miss. Oh gosh, that's tough. I think I'm gonna miss Alonzo too. I think I'm gonna miss Barb. I'm gonna miss Barb. I'm gonna miss Barb because I think that she did kind of go through this roller coaster that a lot of the other characters didn't go through, because she thought she was like, she didn't want to be raised as she was, and then everything kind of came to a head, and then she lost everybody, really.
Yeah.
Until the very end, and I think that she kind of took this journey that a lot of other characters didn't take.
I think
So-
tonight was the first night you really felt bad for
Yeah,
Barb.
yeah.
Like you actually felt bad for Barb.
So we definitely
Yeah.
want to know what you guys
At the very end.
Definitely want to know what you guys are, who you guys are going to miss. My last question on this show, or at least for this part of the segment, is what do you guys think is the true American crime? As we go forward into next season, we'll see. But what do you guys think are the big things that you would categorize as an American crime?
I'm just
Like, I'll give you this answer, but I don't know if I'm understanding your question. But I would probably say like profiling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just automatically assume things about people when we see a person, and so I think that that's a huge American crime.
I'm going to say reactions, negative reactions. You know, something happening, and it's really all on how a person reacts to a situation, on whether good is going to come out of it or bad.
Right. I'm going to say, I'm going to tie both of yours in because I think it ties into ignorance. Because I think that profiling comes from ignorance.
Bad reactions.
Bad reactions come from ignorance. And people not understanding each other, I think that is really where this whole season, that's what it was. It was Barb's comments. It was Aaliyah's comments. It was Carter and Aubry's ignorance about kind of real life. It was Tony's ignorance about growing up. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody was just kind of making decisions because they didn't understand what was happening. And I always said that Hector really understood. Hector was really the only one that understood
Right.
what was happening.
Right.
He had a clear path. He wanted to go back to his family, clearly, as we saw at the end. So I thought that was really great. But we definitely want to know what you guys think about what the true American crime is. Hopefully we'll find out more next season. We're going to take a commercial break here, and when we come back, we'll talk all about what you guys are talking about out there. We'll see you in a bit.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
That the more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them, go ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on the stream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to the American Crime After Show finale here at
Yes.
theStream.tv. Megan's got some comments that we've pulled from tonight's finale. So what
I
you got, Megan?
do. Oh my gosh, you guys are going crazy over here on Twitter. At Sambuca1120 says, I feel like more people got slayed than on a Game of Thrones finale. Hashtag American Crime, and I love what they did with Hector.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I know that lots of deaths happen. But so that is very funny.
It was really funny.
It was really
So we had
funny.
to
That's
pull
why
it.
we pulled that. Yeah, there were a lot
And
of
I
deaths this
agree.
season. There was definitely a lot of guests. What else you got?
Okay, we got at Ty Love 3 says that was quite possibly one of the greatest season finales I've ever seen. Incredible work, American Crime.
Yes, slow claps for John Ridley
Yes,
and his cast
amazing,
on that.
amazing.
For sure.
It definitely was an incredible episode. So we're definitely excited to see what happens next season. I know, Megan, you've got one.
Yeah, one more. And Michaela quoted a very prominent quote from tonight's episode. Michaela Loves You says, "Lies come back on the liars. Deception comes back on the deceivers. Good comes to the righteous."
Amen.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that was Aaliyah, right? I feel like Aaliyah.
No,
Who said that?
it was the guy, no-name character.
Oh,
he
it
said
was at
to
the beginning,
Carter.
at the beginning
At
of
the
the
beginning,
recording.
yeah, he said it to Carter, and Carter, like he was behind him, and it was very...
And how it was, how he was blurred in the
Yes,
background.
yes.
I loved that shot.
It was
thought
very
that
powerful.
It was definitely a powerful show, definitely a powerful quote. So thank you guys for tweeting using that hashtag American Crime. Lots of new shows coming this fall. So I asked the girls to talk about real quick shows that they're excited about coming back this fall.
Oh, coming back?
Or coming back,
new?
or coming new, whatever.
I have to get the
Yeah,
name
after a
of the
slight
one.
spell check, we thought Drexel was going to ask us about our favorite shoes,
I
not
texted
shows.
her, talk about your favorite
Shoes.
shoes. So I said shows in my head, and clearly that did
And
not
he
come
wrote
out right.
shoes.
And so we were
planned
like,
to talk
okay,
about
So
shoes.
Mercedeh was Googling shoes to talk about.
To talk about shoes.
We're ready to talk about
But
shoes.
now
in
we know he
American Crime,
meant
but now we know.
shows.
Right.
I
is
am
pouring here in
It
Los
is so
Angeles.
pouring. I am going. You can hear it.
Which it never rains.
It
like
never
this, so
rains
this is
here. It's
crazy.
pouring.
And when it
right
does,
now.
it's like this.
I feel like it's
really
going to come
hard.
through the roof.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Megan.
I'm excited for How to Get Away with Murder. That's usually in this time slot, so it kind of flops with
Yeah.
American Crime. So How to Get Away with Murder, I'm stoked about.
Speaking of How to Get Away with Murder, Shonda Rhimes has a new show coming back this fall called The Catch, which I'm excited about on ABC. I'm excited about all the ABC shows, so I only wrote ABC
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
down,
same.
especially with American Crime right now. So they've got The Catch, they've got a new show called Quantico, which is about the FBI Academy at the Marine Corps base in Quantico in Virginia, and then Wicked City with Ed Westwick from CW's Gossip Girl.
Nice.
What about you?
Okay, well, I'm super excited about Empire coming back,
Yes.
which, yes, I did a couple of the after shows for that, and I really enjoyed that show. And then a new show, Minority Report.
Yep.
It's with
CBS, right? It
I
is
think it's
CBS.
Fox. I think it's
Or maybe
Fox.
it's Fox.
Fox. It's on Fox. And it's starring Megan Good. She's one of the lead roles. And so I know Megan, and so
Minority.
I like that
Mercedeh
for
knows
her.
everybody. Mercedeh knows everybody. Minority
No, I
Report, all
don't.
based on the same movie with Tom Cruise. Well, we definitely want to know what shows you guys are excited about this fall. Of course, American Crime will be back for season 2. They got renewed along with all the other great shows. Revenge just ended its season finale, which is so sad for me. Thank you guys so much for joining us all season long, all 13 episodes.
Yes,
Congratulations
thank
to the
you.
cast and the crew of American Crime. And check out all the other shows here on theStream.tv. And we'll see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Mercedeh, tell...